Hi, my name is Poon, and I'm currently a UC Berkeley student, and I'm currently taking this IEOR 190G class, which is also known as Patent Engineering. And today I'll be talking about Barnes& Noble and whether they actually whether they infringe on several patents issued by Microsoft. So let me first describe what actually is going on. Is that Microsoft filed an ITC complaint in March 2011 against Barnes & Noble, Nook, and the Nook Color, and Barnes & Noble filed a response and a complaint against Microsoft the following month. And now, after a year, almost a year, the ITC attorney staff actually revealed that Barnes & Noble did not infringe on the three remaining Microsoft patents. And so, even though there's three remaining patents, but today I'm only going to focus on one of the patents involved, which is making annotations in read-only documents. As you can see from this picture, it illustrates how this actually works. So it's basically the Barnes & Noble Nook Color. So that's a read-only document, and the user can annotate different comments on the sides. So what it does is it determines the file position of the selected object in the non-modifiable portion of the file. And then the Nook it can highlight the sentence, and then it would put a note icon in the margin, so that you can annotate different things along the sides of the text. And so that's basically what this idea is about. So Barnes & Noble it filed a complaint response against Microsoft, saying that these patents are definitely invalid because it's improperly issued, and it's saying that Microsoft has merely applied well-known techniques to the problem created by the advent of electronic publishing. So it's saying that this idea that this patent that Microsoft filed has been long in existence, and that is a very common idea that Microsoft should not had a patent on this idea. And so that's why Barnes & Noble is not willing to pay the licensing fees required by Microsoft. That's the reason why they cannot reach a conclusion between the two, which then brought this entire idea to a lawsuit in the ITC. And what Barnes & Noble is also saying is that Microsoft did not invent, research, develop, or make available to the public mobile devices employing the Android operating system. So Microsoft did not invent these things. However, it's invented by other open source companies. So it's saying that since they didn't invent it, why do they keep trying to find glitch holes to sue other Android operating hardware vendor companies and trying to get money off them? So an interesting note is that Microsoft is actually very successful in these licensing fees, and that this is actually the main way of how Microsoft is obtaining money in this market. And so it almost extracts from every single Android hardware vendor such as Samsung, HTC, Acer, LG, and a lot of other companies. And the ones that are not in agreement with Microsoft, they're actually now facing lawsuits against Microsoft, such as Barnes & Noble, and the other one is Motorola Mobility. And what's interesting is that Microsoft is seeking for more than double per device royalty for the color version of the Nook. So Barnes & Noble really have to pay a lot in this case. So even though we really don't know whether Barnes & Noble is going to win this lawsuit for now, however, there's a very high chance that it may actually win. So what if it wins? What would happen? Well, for now, Microsoft, as I said before, is dependent largely on these licensing fees. So if these patents are found to be invalid, then in a sense, Microsoft is going to have to rely on other ways of trying to obtain money, since for now they're getting most of the money from licensing fees. And actually, if Barnes & Noble win, then it actually increased the confidence in other companies to stand up to Microsoft in fighting for a better deal, instead of just keep paying these licensing fees, which in a way it's sort of a ripoff from these other companies. So my question for this week is, can Barnes & Noble keep selling the Nook, and will Microsoft win and yet dominate again? And then the link in here is basically a complete complaint response from Barnes & Noble. So you can take a look on that, and that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.